A fragile calm reigns in Gaza. A temporary truce that feels more like an armed standoff is still holding, nearly 1 month after the worst flare-up between Hamas and Israel since the 2014 war. In the meantime, nearly 2 million residents of the Gaza Strip get by as they can. They live under a de facto blockade with the world's highest unemployment rate. Ali, this is not his real name, told us about his daily struggles.
Economic conditions here are really difficult. We have nothing. If you ask people in their 30s if they have 1 shekel, they will say no. This explains all these demonstrations at the fence. People want freedom. They want the end of the blockade, want to work, to have a life as everybody else, as in any other country, Arabic or not.
The blockade imposed by Israel in the early 90s has intensified after Hamas started ruling the Strip in 2007. 11 years of restrictions of the movement of people and goods add to the Palestinian Authority's punitive measures against its rival Hamas. This is how payments to 38,000 civil servants have been systematically cut and delayed, doctors' salaries included. In Gaza's main hospital, Al-Shifa, we visited the pharmacy of the orthopedic department. They told us the hospital has only 30% of the drugs needed to treat cancer. There are no specific antibiotics, no medicines for diabetic patients. The healthcare system is crumbling, and the massive number of injuries during the mass protests at the wall between Israel and Gaza adds a heavy burden.
On the 14th of May, we had a gush of patients that they came in, and the Israelis were shooting everybody, and we received almost 250 or 300. You could not imagine that, this area, patients were on the ground.
The European Humanitarian Aid Office has increased its support to urgent medical assistance and long-term treatments, but it has provided essential services in terms of water, sanitation, livelihood and shelter for years.
Since 2017, the poverty level of Gaza has increased dramatically. Now we're talking about more than half of the population in Gaza living under the poverty line.
The percentage of those living in poverty rises to 77% among refugees. They are over 1 million living in 8 camps, like this one, Beach Camp. 53% of people in Gaza have no job, and unemployment skyrockets to 70% among youth. The population of Gaza is trapped between the blockade imposed by Israel and Egypt and the divisions between Palestinian factions, with 80% of them depending on humanitarian aid. Monica Pinna, Gaza, Euronews.